Hello. This is going to be another episode of the series Motivational Monday Live with your host, Aura Elena Martinez. And trust me when I tell you that the episode that I have for you for this week is one that's going to serve you greatly if you allow it to serve you greatly. It is entitled The Value of Letting Go and Trust. Before I start with the episode of this week, I want to start off by introducing myself if this is the first time that you are watching this series. And also I want to share with you, what was it that prompted me to start this series? So once again, my name is Aura Elena Martinez, and I'm a self-discovery and empowerment coach, helping women gain total clarity in their purpose so they can wake up to daily fulfillment and certainty. Now, purpose is not to be limited to just a calling. And why is that? Because you could be living your calling and still not be living your most purposeful life. And this is because you living your most purposeful life also consists of you enjoying greater levels of mental well-being, emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, physical well-being, and financial well-being. Why not? Right? Because every part of you in your life matters. And what prompted me to start this series to begin with is the fact that Mondays tend to be that day of the week that there are some that are like frustrated, anxious, right? They're not looking forward to their week. They're like complaining, oh my God, I got to go back to work. I got to do this. I got to do that, right? And if that is you, if you find yourself not looking forward to Mondays, not looking forward to your job, not looking forward to what it is that you must do, let that be your sign that something is meant to be changed. Something needs to change. And that's because you're not designed to be frustrated, anxious, not looking forward to how your week is going and the job that you need to do. Like, that's not how you're meant to live. Okay, so let that be your sign. Sometimes we may fall into this trap of thinking that that's how life is. No, that's not how life is. That's the way your life is because there are choices that you have made and your inner being is telling you something needs to change. So listen to that. What you're feeling is not for nothing, right? So don't disregard the feelings, the emotions that are going on within you. So it is my desire that with this series, you start looking forward to Mondays because you know you're going to be filled with goodness. You know you're going to be filled up with truth, and that this series connects you more and more with your truth. Why is it important that you know your truth, understand your truth, and live your truth? Because the more you live your truth, the more you're living authentically, the happier you're going to be, right? Because you're going to be experiencing a happiness that doesn't rely on something outside of you. It relies from within you. And that's the best happiness, by the way, right? And it is my desire that this series, this whole, every week you come here, that you elevate your level of consciousness. That is more important than you can possibly imagine. When you notice that two people are learning the same thing or are in the same program or whatever, and one person is successful while the other is not, of course, there could be many factors, but one of them I can guarantee you is the level of consciousness. That person that was successful was in a different level of consciousness, that they were able to see things differently. They were able to experience things differently. They were able to get something that the other person was not able to get. Just like when you're on the first floor and everything, how does it look, right? The cars look big, the buildings look big, people look at the same size as you. But if you go up to the 10th floor, 20th floor, how does things look like to you? People start looking smaller, cars look smaller, the buildings don't look smaller. So you start having a different perspective in life. I am telling you, trust me when I tell you, your level of consciousness, it's so important that you always work on raising it, wanting to see the truth behind things, wanting to see things for what they really are, right? And so once again, the episode of this week, is entitled The Value of Letting Go and Trust. And this matters more than you can possibly imagine. Right? I know that we're all focusing on goals and all that kind of stuff, but in the process of you falling in love, meeting the right person, I don't know, whatever, reaching your goal, the process of letting go and trusting is essential, right? You letting go and trusting is part of the process of you enjoying greater levels of well-being. Okay, so one of the things that can block you energetically from really receiving what you're meant to receive, what is meant for you, what is for your good, is not letting go and trust. So I'll be discussing what letting go consists of and what it doesn't consist of, right? Because this is very important because it could be misunderstood. When you misunderstood what letting go actually is, You could be thinking you're letting go of something, and then with the hope that whatever expectation that you may have, and then supposedly it doesn't work. But it's not that it doesn't work, is that it may have been misunderstood. So I'm going to clarify what that consists of, okay? I'm also going to talk about the benefits of letting go, right? Because sometimes when we're so focused on, I want this person, I want this relationship, I want this to happen, this needs to happen in 1 year, we can lose perspective of what weighs more. If what we're wanting to truly experiencing weighs more versus, I gotta have this person, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. Get where I'm going with this, okay? So you're gonna notice that if this is the way you want to experience the benefits of letting go, you may find out that letting go may actually be the solution that you actually need, okay? Letting go and trusting is essential for your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. Okay, I'm gonna say physical, because when you're holding on to things that are not good for you, that doesn't serve you, that doesn't serve your highest good, that is going to become toxic for you, whatever it is that you're not letting go of, okay? And I want you to think about this for a moment. If you're holding on to something that is very, very hard for you to let go of, and you're holding on to it very tightly, and I'm going to encourage you to do the following. As a matter of fact, if you don't have pen and paper, I'm going to really recommend it, because there's some questions that I'm going to really recommend you to ask yourself if this is what's going on for you, because this is going to help you understand why is it that you're not letting go. Because I can guarantee you it's not the person, it's not whatever it is that you're not letting go, the reason why you're not letting go. There's something deeper. And I'm also going to encourage you, grab onto something that weighs a little. I have a bottle of water right here, because I really want you to experience this with me, because it's going to be very powerful, right? Just don't grab something light like a pen. It's not going to have the same effect. Grab something that has a little bit of weight that you can grab onto. If you have a bottle of water, a plastic bottle of water, you could grab onto that. I'm using that rather than this because it's going to serve the purpose, right? So if you have that, I want you to do the following. Hold on to it, and hold on to it really, really tight. Like, have a tight grip on it, okay? If I hold on to this bottle of water like this, what is happening to the bottle of water? Well, in this case, I'm probably creating some damages to the bottle. I've already done some damage to the bottle, right? If you're grabbing it like this, really, really tight. What else can my hand do if I'm grabbing onto this? It cannot do anything, right? Because it's holding onto this bottle. There's nothing else that my hand can do, right? What else can my hand hold? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, because I'm holding on to this bottle, especially with this tight grip. Oh my gosh. What else is happening to my hand? What else is happening to your hand if you are holding on to something as tightly as the way I'm holding on to this bottle of water? How will my hand feel after holding on to this bottle for too long? My hand is going to start hurting. It's going to feel tired, right? And what's going to happen to your hand after you decide that you're going to let go of this? Look at how tight I held on to this. You know how many times we hold on to things and people and relationships and things that don't serve us, friendships that don't serve us, we hold on to it this tightly? So I held on to it. I don't know about you, but my hand started hurting. And when your hand starts to hurt, you need rest, right? You need to heal. You need to heal after having such a hold, you held it, you grabbed onto it so hard. If you try to experience this, you try this experiment, you're going to realize that. You're going to realize you're going to need to rest. You're going to need to heal if you've been holding on to that. I am using this as an example to illustrate what happens to you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically when you are holding on to something that you're not willing to hold on to, especially if you have a very tight grip like this, especially, okay? Mentally, you're so focused on it. Think about it. Whatever you have a tight grip on, you focus more on it, giving it your energy, right? What you give your energy to, it will become emotionally charged. Think about it. If I'm holding on to something, oh my God, the more I put my focus, the more emotionally charged I'm going to be. Oh my God, I'm going to be I'm going to be more into you. See where I'm going with this, right? What you're emotionally charged with, you're going to be spiritually tied to. This becomes even more dangerous if it's a relationship or someone that you should just let go because they're not the right person for you, whatever. Okay. It can also be quite dangerous when it comes to like okay, I'm going to clarify where I'm going with this, because you're going to see what I mean with this. Okay. So I'm going to bring up examples. So don't worry, because you're going to get this very, very clear. You also have to be very mindful when it comes to this, when it comes to goals. Like say, for example, when you set a goal that this year, this is going to happen. And this year, oh my God, it has to happen this year. When you have a very tight grip on that, it can be you become emotionally tied to that. It becomes dangerous because it leads to discouragement if it doesn't happen. It leads to a whole bunch of other things. I'm going to get into that later, okay? What you become spiritually tied to that either doesn't serve you, doesn't grow you, doesn't make you feel good, will physically affect you. And this is because every part of you is connected. Do not think that what you're thinking, that what you're feeling, what's going on within you isn't affecting your body. Yes, it is. It is affecting your body, and it's going to affect your body, okay? When letting go becomes challenging, there's a reason why it is challenging. There's a reason why it is challenging, and it will be important for you to dig deep and figure out why. So ask yourself the following, have pen and paper, because this is valuable, okay? This is valuable for you. What does that represent for you? What does that you cannot seem to hold, that you cannot seem to let go of, what does that mean to you? And I encourage you to dig deep, because trust me, the reason why it is hard to let go is it may not even be what you're thinking. It may not even be what you're thinking, okay? Ask yourself also the following, what does that which is so hard to let go mean to you? What does that mean to you? What does that, in this case, it will be a bottle of water. What does this bottle of water mean to you? But in this case, it could be a person. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be, you will be surprised. What does that mean for you that is so hard for you to let go? Why do you want that? Why do you want that? What would it mean to you to have that? What would it mean to you to have that? Why is it important? Why is that important for you? Why is that important for you is not the thing that is hard to let go. This refers to the previous question. Okay, so the previous question was, what would it mean for you to have that? What would it mean for you? Say, for example, if it's, it would mean that I am accepted. It would mean that I am loved. It would mean that I am, whatever that is, why is that important for you? You see how digging deep, you will figure out the real reason behind. And you will be surprised that it has nothing to do with that person, that thing, that experience, that situation, whatever it is that you're wanting, that job, that whatever. Okay? So in other words, the answer to the question, what would it mean for you to have that? Why is that important for you? What you will realize through these questions is that the reason why that is hard for you to let go of has nothing to do, like I mentioned before, with the person or that experience or that thing or whatever. It's something so much more deeper. Okay? It may be related to a wound that you may have, right? An unresolved issue that you may have. Something that is meant to come to light. When things are meant to heal in your life, it's strange how life in the universe works, right? When you are meant to heal something, It sometimes comes in the strangest ways at first, and you don't realize it until hindsight, until some time has passed by, and after you have healed whatever it is that needed healing. Okay? The reason why it's hard for you to let go is valuable information for you. That reason, right, is so important. It's valuable information for you because that is your step up. That is your step up. That is not an obstacle. That is a step for you to go up. It is your next up level. That is what's going to transform your life. This is the beauty of experiences, right? That's the beauty of rejection. That's the beauty of when things don't work out. That's the beauty when someone treats you a certain way that you did not expect. That is the beauty. That is never to hurt you. That is always for your up level. That is always for something better for you. These are not affirmations. These are truth. If you decide to see them as truth, because I want you to be aware of something. What you decide to believe, that becomes your reality. Sometimes we get so fixated. I didn't say this in the Spanish version, so I don't know who needs to hear this that only speaks English. We tend to think, mistakenly think, that what we believe, oh, it's because that is reality. No, it's because you believe it, that it's your reality, right? And so I really want you to be mindful of that. When things like that happen, a rejection, a disappointment, someone that treated you a certain way and you didn't expect them to treat you a certain way, that is there for your up level, never for you to go down or anything like that. The reason why it's hard to let go is not the problem. It's a gift. The reason why it's hard to let go is not a problem, is a gift, okay? That's a takeaway right there. It's not there so you could continue being stuck, right? You're not missing out. You're not missing out. Now I want to discuss what letting go is and what it is not, or what you should let go of and what you should not let go of, right? Because this is one of those things that can be so misinterpreted. You let go of what doesn't want you, what doesn't serve you, the person that you may love or like, but doesn't like you in return. It isn't reciprocated, when the feelings are not reciprocated. What doesn't grow you. The idea that you have of life is something that you must let go. And I'll discuss more what I mean with this. How you think life needs to be is something else that you must let go of, right? And I'm going to get into details with this because I don't want this to be misinterpreted. So with this said, this doesn't mean that you let go of what you desire, that you let go of the idea of love or the idea of what it is that you desire, right? You do not let go of your dreams or your vision. And this is so important for you to know. So for example, I remember last year, I applied to be in this stage where there's like thousands of people in the audience. There's thousands of women that participate and that watch this event. And I was basically rejected. Well, I'm glad I was, because I realized then at the beginning of this year, that would have been horrible timing if I would have been in that stage, because there was other things happening in my life. So I'm telling you, you just never know why things don't pan out the way you want them to pan out, right? So does that mean that my dream of ever speaking on a stage in front of thousands of people and me being a public speaker, it's not meant to come true? No, right? No. If you like a guy or a woman, say for example, and that person doesn't like you the same way, doesn't treat you the way you want to be treated, does it mean that you just reject love and love is not meant for you? So you just reject the idea that someone will ever come to you? No. You get where I'm going with this? That doesn't mean that, right? And so you let go of a piece of a puzzle that doesn't fit in with the puzzle that is your life, basically, right? And what do I mean with that? I'm going to get into detail what I mean with that, but I want to say this. When I mentioned earlier that you let go of the idea that you have of life, I mean it in this sense. You know how many times sometimes we have goals and they need to happen at a certain timeline. My life needs to look like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And by this age, I must have this. And by this age, I must have that. That is a very dangerous thing to hold on to. And that's why I say you got to let go. That doesn't mean you let go of the bigger picture. I would like this in my life and I would like that in my life. But you do got to let go of the timeline and how exactly it's supposed to look like. And the reason for this that I say this is because when you hold on to something that doesn't happen when you want it to happen, that can lead to disappointments. That can lead to you wanting to give up. That can lead to you having thoughts that are not true of you and of your life. Do you get where I'm going with this? I remember when I was trying to lose weight, if I would have put a timeline for when I was supposed to be 124, which I ended up being 112 pounds, by the way, right? I would have quit before I would have even known how far I can go. Do you get where I'm going with this? You hold on to the bigger picture. You don't hold on to the pieces because they might not fit in the puzzle, right? You gotta let go of that piece because it might not necessarily belong in the piece of the puzzle of your life. You never know what else needs to occur, what else you need to learn, what information you're meant to gather. And that's the reason why it hasn't happened the way you wanted it to happen. Do you get where I'm going with this? So I hope that what I'm saying right now, if you're right now feeling discouraged, oh, it hasn't happened the way it's supposed to happen, and it hasn't happened when I wanted it to happen, let this be an encourager. Let this message deposit onto you, onto your spirit, so that you don't get discouraged of whatever it is that you want. But let go of when it has to happen. Let go of it needs to happen like this, of the how, right? And this applies not just to goals. This even applies to love. Sometimes we need to let go of how it needs to happen and who it needs to be. But we need to focus on the bigger picture. I want to feel this way. I want to attract a guy that makes me feel this way. Or I want to attract a woman that makes me feel this way. Whatever it is that you preference. Get where I'm going with this. That piece of the puzzle that doesn't belong in your life. That piece of the puzzle that doesn't belong in that puzzle that right now you're working on. You know what it does? It makes your vision sharper. Think about it. If you're working on a puzzle, if right now I'm working on a puzzle and I see this little puzzle doesn't fit. Oh, wait, let me look at how this corner looks like. Oh, this corner has a little circle. This doesn't have a circle. This has a hole in it. Get where I'm going with this? It makes your vision sharper. It makes you more aware. It raises your level of consciousness. It makes you look at the bigger picture so that you can pay more attention to the details that truly matter. What do I mean with that? If you're right now working on a puzzle and you see that a puzzle doesn't fit, you know what that's going to make you do? Okay, let me look at the box. Let me see how this picture is supposed to look like. Oh, wait a minute. Of course, this is not going to fit here. This has a piece of a car here, and this has a piece of a lake here. So it doesn't fit here. You get where I'm going with this? The same thing applies to your life. When you maintain the bigger picture right there, you remember, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. In this case, I want my smart water. Yeah, I have this water. This is not a smart water. Okay, it's a water. It's nice, but no, I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. I'm not going to get discouraged because this doesn't fit. This is not a smart water. Probably bad example, but you get where I'm going with this. What do you do when you find a piece of a puzzle that doesn't belong in the puzzle that right now you're working on? Say, for example, you are working on a puzzle, on an actual puzzle, and the piece that you just found just doesn't fit. What do you do if you realize it just, I guess it's not a part of the puzzle? What do? You don't use it, right? You put it aside. You no longer use that piece. But you want me to tell you why it's easy to put it aside? Because there's no emotional and mental attachment to that piece. There's no emotional and mental attachment to the piece because you're focused on your puzzle. You're focused, okay, I'm trying to finish it. Wait, this is not a part of the puzzle, right? Your focus is on the puzzle and the bigger picture and putting the bigger picture together. Of course, it's a little different for us, right? Because we're human beings. And as human beings, we're more complex. We have emotional attachment to things, okay? So you must understand what is that emotional attachment that you have towards that thing or that person or whatever it is that you have. It's so important for you to know that. So what is the emotional attachment or the thought when it comes to that thing that is hard for you to let go of, or that person that is hard for you to let go of? This is going to be so important. That is your gold. And the reason why that is your gold is because it will be your real answer as to why it is that it has been hard for you to let go of that person or that thing. That will be your indicator as to what it is that you need to work on. You're going to understand more about your values. I'm telling you, you're going to understand so much more about yourself. It is not even funny. It is not even funny, all the things that you're going to learn about yourself. And you're going to discover as you try to dismantle this. Thank you for the likes. I see that's Angel. Thank you. You're going to realize that as you are dismantling this, you are going to realize that you truly are the key to transforming anything that you are wanting to transform in your life. Letting go has many benefits. One of them being that it allows you to let go of that resistance. And resistance, what it means is a refusal to accept the what is or to comply with something, right? That's where that discomfort comes from. When you are uncomfortable with how things are, it's because a part of you is not accepting of how things are, right? So letting go helps you release that resistance. Number two, it frees you up energetically. It frees you up energetically so that you can make space for what is meant for you, so that you can make space for what truly is for you, what it is that you truly desire. Okay. Number three, it creates physical space for what's for you. Let me tell you this, the moment you let go of something, first, the letting go has to start within you. I don't know who needs to listen to this, that it didn't come to me in Spanish, but it's coming to me in English. The letting go first needs to happen within you, right? Because your inner being has to be connected with that decision that you're making. And so when you make that space within you mentally, in your heart, you are obviously going to be able to create that physical space for whatever it is that you want. Okay? Letting go does that. It allows you to see clearly what's in front of you. Think about it. And I'm going to use this as an example. So if you like someone and you are like unwilling to let go of the idea, I need to be with this person. Or this can apply also to a dream that you have. It needs to happen this way, because if it's not happening this way, you know what's going to happen? The person that's actually for you can be right in your face. But because you're so preoccupied with this, you can't see it. Or perhaps this is a dream that you have, but it's supposed to look a different way. Still great, but because you're so fixated, no, it needs to look this way. You can't even see the beauty that the universe has for you. Do you get where I'm going with this? It doesn't allow you to see clearly the moment you just hold on to that grip. Now let's discuss trust, because this is so important, okay? Trust is not hope. This is probably going to ruffle some feathers here, but trust is not hope. As a matter of fact, hope is a weak verb. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Hope is a weak verb. Now, it's better to have hope if you're disappointed, if you're disillusioned. Obviously, it's better for you to have hope, because the thing is, if you're feeling disappointed, if you're feeling down, it's very hard to have trust. Trust is it's a higher vibration. It's hard to go up in vibration when you're this down so quickly. So the best thing for you to do is to take the next step. The next step, if you're feeling disappointed, if you're feeling disillusioned, is hope. However, you don't want to remain in hope. You want to move on to trust. And trust, what it is faith, right? What faith is a strong belief. It is a strong conviction. That's what it is, right? And the reason why I say that hope is a weak verb is because if you think about it, when you say you hope for something, what's behind that hope? Doubt. Oh my God, I hope for this to happen. Someone that trusts, someone that has faith, they're not here saying, I hope this happens. I know this is going to happen. If it's not this, it's something better. Do you sense the energetic difference between the two? It's a big energetic difference, right? It's a big energetic difference. Faith is a much higher vibration. It's so much more higher as opposed to hope. So you must trust. You must have hope when you are letting go, okay? If it's hard for you to trust or have faith, it will be important for you to understand why that is, for you to know why that is, right? Is it that you fear that there isn't anything better for you? Do you fear that? What is the fear behind the lack of trust? It's going to be very important that you really get to the nitty-gritty, that you really understand exactly what that is. Trust is a huge component of letting go, because if you do not trust, it's going to be hard for you to let go. You're not going to want to let go. You're not going to want to let go. Trust is what allows for you to calm your nervous system. Haven't you noticed that when you have a tight grip on something, you're all nervous, you're all anxious, you're all in fear. Oh my God, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? You have these thoughts within yourself. So trust allows you to calm your nervous system. It also gives you the strength to move forward. It allows you to be in the right mind frame. This is so important. So important. It gives you the discipline to not take action when you're tempted to take action and you shouldn't take action. You know, like when you're tempted to do something that you really shouldn't do, but you really want to do, but you really shouldn't. When you trust, you relax, right? So if you're lacking trust, ask yourself the following. What would happen if you let go of what's been hard for you to let go? How would you feel? Yes, you are in fact afraid when you don't let go. Yes, you're definitely in fear. So next time with anything, whether it is a vision, whether it is a person you have a crush on, thank you for the likes, whether it is a timeline that you put on something, a dream, anything, notice the grip that you have on it. So what do I mean with that? Obviously, you can't physically see the grip, but you can sense the grip. You can feel the grip. You can notice the grip based on your actions. So if the thought of letting go of something scares you, puts you in panic mode, that's your sign that you have a very tight grip on something. You have a very tight grip on something. If you're obsessing over something, if you keep wondering, but it's an overdrive, you have a tight grip on something, and that is fear. And so you understanding what's the real reason behind the fear will be very, very important. So ask yourself, what would happen if you let go of what's been hard for you to let go of? And how would you feel? What would you think? This is important because you're going to get deeper and deeper into understanding where this lack of trust comes from. Then once you answer that, ask yourself, and why? Where is this thought or belief coming from? And the reason why I want to encourage you to ask yourself that is because, trust me when I tell you, most of the beliefs that we have from childhood, that is not from us. That is something, either the way we interpret is something or something that we learn from someone. Someone perhaps that was a role model for us. And so we interpreted things a certain way based on their experiences, something along those lines. So you understanding, where is this belief coming from? Where is it coming from? What is this lack of trust trying to tell you? What is this lack of trust trying to tell you? Because there's something that what is going on within you is trying to tell you. That's feedback, right? That's feedback. And go even deeper so that you can really free yourself from this grip that you have. You want to go deeper. What am I meant to learn from this experience? Because trust, there's something that you're meant to learn. Ask yourself, how can I allow myself to be a better person because of this experience? And the reason why this is so important is because life is your school. Your relationships with people, the way you're interacting with people, the experiences that you're having, all of those are your teachers. All of them are your teachers. Your life is your teacher. The world is your teacher. And if you do not learn the lesson now, what's going to happen is, what happens at school when you don't pass a grade? You repeat it. You repeat it, right? Same thing happens in life. Haven't you noticed that sometimes you go through the same experience, only a different person, different nationality, different name, or probably a similar experience, but just different people, different scenarios, different things, but the theme is still the same. It's because there's a lesson you're meant to learn. So ask yourself, what am I meant to heal? What am I meant to heal? You getting to the core as to why you're not letting go will be what will allow you to let go. Understanding the why, right? And you're going to realize it has nothing to do with that person. It has nothing to do with that thing, right? It's your perception. It's your interpretation. It's the meaning that you give to things. It's what you allow yourself to feel. It's some past trauma. It's some unresolved issue. It is probably the wound, the reason why you're not letting go. Not the person, not the thing. You are a much more powerful being than you can possibly imagine. You are a much more powerful being than you can possibly imagine. Like, you will be amazed how much you can generate the energy, the enthusiasm, the everything, if only you really go deep. If only, like, if you get that inner transformation, you're going to see that outer transformation that you're seeking. I promise you. And when you seek your inner transformation, it is your transformation that is your inspiration. If you notice that you're constantly seeking inspiration because you feel like you're lacking inspiration, then what you need to go after is your transformation. That is an indicator that you need a transformation, because I promise you, that's what's going to inspire you on a daily basis. You are more powerful than you can possibly imagine. So please consider that when you notice it is so hard for you to let go on something, you have a tight grip on something, the moment you discover the real reason behind that tight grip, that's when you're going to be able to let go and open up to receive more and to really get what it is that you're meant to get. And you will be surprised how much more beautiful it is as opposed to what you keep holding on to. So much more beautiful. So if you have something that is hard for you to let go, you're wanting to transform an emotion, you're ready to obtain more clarity, you're wanting a transformation, schedule your clarity call with me. In that call, we're going to see where you are now, where you would like to be, what is necessary to close that gap, and how I'm able to help you close that gap. You don't need to be stuck. You don't need to be confused. You don't need to be in circles. And I'm also going to ask you this: share this video with others. You never know what someone else might be going through. And this is the message that makes them say, oh my God, now I understand. Wait, I'm going to heal from this relationship that I keep holding on to. I'm going to heal from this, dream that I've been holding on to. It just needs resuscitation, but I need to look at this a little differently. It's not meant to be this way. It's even more beautiful than I can possibly imagine. Share this video with other people. And if you're ready to transform your life, because trust me, when I tell you I go deep, I go deep. When I tell you you will be transformed, I promise you will be transformed. Schedule that clarity call with me, okay? And it is my desire that you allow this message to really sink in. That if you notice that it is so hard for you to let go of something, that you ask yourself, rather than being so fixated on what it is that you're holding on to, that you let it level you up in such a way that you're like, wow, I didn't think this was going on within me. And now things can be different just because of this awareness that I have. Like, let it do that for you. And with this said, it is my desire that you live life to the max the way you are destined to live. And until next time, bye for now.